Just like that, welcome back, welcome back. Good to see everybody. Carolina Keith, Keith the Simp, I hate Keith, all decked out my Tar Heel stuff tonight. I don't even care. It's that time of year. It finally started to cool off here in my area, just in time for Crypto After Dark. Hope everyone's ready. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Q3 is approaching its final countdown here. Only a couple days left. Uh, what's going to happen? Well, we're definitely going to find out. Let's hit them charts. Like I said, it's not crypto before dark. It's crypto after dark. Good to see everybody. If you haven't done so, please go ahead like. They cost nothing. Likes are free dollars. Free dollars for likes. They're free. All you got to do is hit the button. It's no problem, right? So, interesting stuff happened today. Once again, had multiple people send me all the same thing, like I don't know that it's happening. But some kind of paper got released and everyone freaked out about it, like XRP was going to go to the moon based on that. You know how I feel about news. Don't really care about it. Don't really do it. We're going to talk about that particular thing. Not to mention, we'll talk about Bitcoin on the monthly chart, which is what I put on the thumbnail for everyone to see. Now, that monthly chart is very crucial. As I say all the time, high time frames kind of run the show. And if high time frames kind of run the show and those big moves make the decisions, let's not miss them. Let's keep a keen eye on what those moves are doing. So, say hey to everyone and we'll get started, shall we? And we shall. All right, Shorty Guzman said, let's roll. Hope everyone in Ian's path is okay. Absolutely. I hope everyone in Ian's path is doing well. Fort Myers, Florida got blasted. Up near Tampa got hit pretty hard. All the inlet towns on the river got smacked pretty hard. So hope everyone's cool. Hope everyone's doing good. Some people already have power back. Ton of linemen heading down to work. Hope everything gets back to normal quick. I hate to see that. And now that things heading this way, like I said, I'm in upstate South Carolina. It's sitting outside of the coast right now, boiling. It's headed straight for us now. So we'll pack it up and pack it in, right? That's the way it goes. Frog with a hat says, hey, yo, we all remember what happened to BTC USD last quarter close. Market so illiquid, megaphones everywhere. Absolutely. Can we look at SPY or ES by chance? Yeah, we look at the SPY. Sure. That's the S&P 500. What's up, Educated Dummy? Good to see you, brother. Mateo, Nate S., Tremaine the Great, Scott Hoylman, Manola, Kelly Slade. What's up, ma'am? How are you? In Orlando, doing well. Nice. Good to see you in Orlando. Shout out. Tough down there, but y'all made it. JD Crypto, what's up, brother? Knox, please take a look at PLU. I can take a look at that one. Thick Daddy Keith, what's up? Dirty Dan is ridiculous, dude. You're stupid. Oh, Lord. Dynamis, good to see you, brother. Oh, thank you. Blue looks good on me. Let's go. It's Tar Heel Blue, the only color of blue that really matters. Soon Heights, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Dan McKenna, good to see you. Tombstone, what's up? Ever Forward, Scythe, Esham, Big Tex, Anonymity, a U.S. Treasury interest rates go up means bonds are being sold, value goes down, be careful. Absolutely. We kind of thought that may happen with bonds, that they may kind of top out. And we saw that they got all the way up to 4%. We kind of thought the top might be 4%. We were talking about that over in the Discord a good bit. And we thought, hey, you know what? If you're going to get bonds, better get them while you can, while the getting's good. And I think that may have worn off for the short time being, right? So let's go have a look at Bitcoin first on the monthly chart. I'm going to pull this up first on the monthly. All right, so let's zoom in here a good bit where you can see it nice and freshly. The last 3 months have stayed directly above 20,000. All right, just dead smack on it. All right, so it hasn't failed this 20K level since way back here on November 1st of 2020. And when I say failed the level, I mean closed under. I don't mean a wick. I don't mean some simple price action. I mean it got down under and stayed under on a monthly closing. I gotta be honest with you, it looks like that's what's going to happen. We have 1 day left, or 1.5 days left, for Bitcoin to get back over 20,000 and maintain it. 1.5 days. Can it do it? Well, we're going to find out. Not exactly sure, yes or no, will that happen or won't happen. It would be nice if it stayed up there, because then that means the market would have a chance to stay above 20,000 for the next month. But it doesn't look like this October is going to be as green as everyone thinks it will. So let's dig a little deeper. Just wanted to show you the fact that 20,000 is a psychological barrier here. And this candle is attempting to close under it for the first time in quite a while. Let's go down to the weekly. Now, the weekly you'll see has closed under that 20,000 level several times. That being said, that tells you that interweek, week between week, it's changing, right? That some weeks are different than others, and those weeks may or may not swing a little differently than other weeks, all right? Important to understand that we can't just look at the weekly chart. We got to step out and look at that monthly chart and even the quarterly chart to get a better feel for what's going on. Weekly, still stuck under 20,000. As you see, this week it ran up and touched it, didn't break it. Let's go down to daily, where we do most of our buys and sells. Now, can this get back up to 20,000, break it, and hold it? The question that everybody kind of wants to know. Well, there's a solid chance. There's a solid chance. What's it got to get through? Well, let's pull up some moving averages real quick. We pull up the moving averages. We see that the 8 and the 21 EMA have it pinned right here, back and forth. It's stuck dead in between the 8 and the 21 EMA, rattling around, bouncing back and forth. If it can break this 21 EMA tomorrow, there's a chance that it runs up, gets above, and closes. Where's it going to go from there? Well, the top end seems to be 20,600, but there's a potential chance that, yes, it will get over there and land somewhere between 20,000 and 20,600. No guarantees. All right, no guarantees. What do I think the percentage is on that? Honestly, 60-40. 60-40, meaning 60% chance it stays under, 40% chance it stays over, and that's not terrible odds, right? So let's be careful. Let's be very careful. Let's look at the futures chart. Futures chart looks a little different. It actually says 21,200, and that we're slightly more below than the regular Bitcoin Binance chart. This is the futures chart that I'm referencing here. Through this really ugly candle today, but did close above the 8. All right, and now you got another one that's trying to test and break back through the 8 EMA. We're not sure yet. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Since this is getting really, really tight, I want to look all the way down to the lower time frames here and see what it shows there. All right, red line is 20,000 right here. Let's put that in pink so it's a little easier to see. So just like it'd be just the same as the last chart that I showed you. Right there. All right, so that pink line right there is 20,000. As you see, the 4 hour 200 moving average is pressing down. Honestly, it shows that's the 30th. Tick, 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 right around here. That's going to be the end of the day, and that's only 5 more candles. 5 more candles. Not great. Not great. Okay. I don't know that if in 5 candles it can get up there and break 20,000. I think there's a slim chance that happens. Now, that being said, next month there's a solid possibility that we get a test of this 100 right here and a test of the 200 over here somewhere, when that 200 moving average slowly bears down, bumps 20,000 one more time, and then we see if the magic starts happening. It's been my opinion for several weeks now, in the opinion of some of the admins over in our Discord, that this thing's got a long way down to go. I think between the months of October and January, we're going to get some ugliness here on the charts. And I feel like there's one more good capitulation left before we give any hardcore relief. That being said, I can't tell you the exact time. What I know is the Bollinger Bands are starting to get tight on different time frames. When Bollinger Bands get tight, we start to see price action. And that's what I want to talk about next, is a couple different indicators to help us indicate how fast or how slow this may happen. All right, so let's go back to daily. We do most of our trades on the daily. We'll take off our moving averages and our Assassin 3-for-1 indicator, and we'll go to our Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands have flattened out, okay? As you see, the top and the bottom of the bands are dead flat. What we're looking for on Bollinger Bands is, are we over the midline or under the midline? Over the midline tends to be a little more bullish than under the midline. If you're over the midline, Your next destination target should be the top of the Bollinger Bands, or here, which happens to be around 21,300. Vice versa. When you're under the line, you're looking for the bottom of the bands, which happens to be around 17,008. So there's good with every bad. The Bollinger Bands show us volatility incoming. The tighter the Bollinger Bands get, the less time the chart has to make a reaction. All right, so I'll give you an example here. Didn't mean to draw that, sorry. Let's go back to a different area here, and you'll see right here how the Bollinger Bands got very tight. They were very wide, and they tightened up very rapidly. And when they tightened up, price got over the midline. All right, after it got over the midline, it ran up to the top of the bands, and the bands started to get wide again. All right, similar situation happened here. The bands got tight. It tagged the trend line very nicely and then failed abruptly after tagging the trend line. Broke downward, ran to the bottom of the bands, bounced around, bounced around, bounced around. Ran up, past the midline, tagged the line, and now it's kind of went sideways. And as it goes sideways, these bands tighten. All right, how fast do they tighten? Well, depends. Let's look at the weekly chart. As you see, the weekly chart isn't near as tight as the daily. This is why I think we may have a week or 2 or 3 in here of nothingness, of just dancing around, where this thing kind of goes sideways and jogs. Now, this is the futures chart, which is slightly different than the regular chart. So I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin Binance chart, and as you see, the bands are a little tighter here. Right now, that Bitcoin futures chart doesn't run on the weekends, so the bands have less time to tighten. All right, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to use it there. However, this Bitcoin chart here never stops, and as you see, it's a little tighter on the weekly. Go down to the daily, much tighter. Look at it squeezing in here. Okay, squeezing in under 20,000. This shows you how tight this is getting. Okay, like lid on a pickle jar tight. And for all you women out there, you know that's super duper tight. So as these Bollinger Bands continue to pinch in here, continue to pinch in. As this happens, this midline continues to press, and that's if price goes sideways. Once we get to a certain tightness on these Bollinger Bands and the price can't do anymore, we're going to see volatility one way or the other, okay? Be prepared for this. We can see it coming. I don't want anyone to say, well, no one knew that was going to happen. Wrong. Wrong. This is why we do what we do. We're able to see things coming, and we try to let everyone know, hey, heads up. Things might get a little dicey here, okay? Let's step back to the monthly chart real quick and look at some other stuff. Where is the bottom of the bands? Because I just showed you how when it breaks the midline and runs, right, can run to the bottom of the bands. The bottom of the bands on the monthly, 15,207. That's exactly where I have this green box drawn. Why do I have the green box drawn there? Well, that's where our Fibonacci retracement points back to support. If I start at the bottom of the run and I pull to the top of the run, just like that, what am I left with? I'm left with fib lines that show me where price action very well may go. First time, 16,222, right about at the 50 fib. But as we know about Bitcoin, it's not very dependent on the 50 fib. It's a more mature asset. It particularly reacts more to the golden pocket, which is down here at 618, 6871. Those prices are 11,005, 9,600, and 8,800. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go there that far, that fast. I do think we get a capitulation here. My hope is that it stops somewhere around 12,000, 11,000. And the reason behind that is, well, that gives everybody a chance to buy some and doesn't go down the past the point where people are going to get upset and want to run away and never come back. Because I don't want people to get so upset that they run away and don't want anything to do with crypto anymore because it's too much stress, they don't want to do it. I don't want to see that happen. I want as many people in this space as possible. The more people we get, the better. But I do see that final capitulation coming in. Let me share with you a historical chart real quick. Now, I've been using this recently to kind of track things. Let me be the first to say, I hate fractals. I hate fractals, like a lot. That being said, fractals have a place so long as they match support and resistance and the timelines aren't skewed by confirmation bias. Let's have a look at what I mean. So I'm going to remove these blue lines here because they're a bit confusing to see. Obviously, that means support and resistance lines. All right, so if we go back in history for a second here and take a little stroll down memory lane, Bitcoin originally halved way back in the day and had a run up. That run up stopped on June of 2011, in the summer of 2011. Okay, from there, what happened? We had a pullback. From this summer 2011 to November 2012 was our next halving date. We have a midline here of roughly when that midline happened, roughly in between there. 100 or so days before that, we had a capitulation. All right. After that capitulation, after that midway, we got a post-bull run peak, a pre-bull run peak, I'm sorry. Let me do weekly chart. It's a little easier to see this. We had a pre-bull run peak right here. And that was also in the summer, August 2012. So we had a peak in 2011, a capitulation, and then a peak in 2012. Then we had our halving. Obviously, we had a big run up, run all the way to the top in 2013. From 2013, we had a bear market. Now, halfway between the peak in 2013 to the next halving in 2016, I'm sorry, May, is February 15. That's the midpoint in between those two areas. From the peak to the next halving, the midpoint was February. About 100 days before that puts us in October, November area, right around where we had another capitulation, about 100 days before. After that, after the midway point, we had a post-bull run run-up, a pre-bull run run-up. That ended in the summer of the next year. The summer of the next year, followed by a halving and then a big bull run. Another peak in 2018. This is when most people learned about crypto, right? From there, we had a fall off halfway between this peak and halving on May 20, which we all just experienced. The halfway point from that was February 2019. As you see, there's a halfway point to this stuff that has usually a big fall in between it, right? Okay, you picking up on that? 100 days before that halfway, November, October area, we had a capitulation. All of it under the trend line, by the way. You see that? Under the trend line, capitulation about 100 days before midway. After midway, we had a pre-bull run peak in that same summer, July 19. Then the next year, we had a halving and we had a big bull run again. Here we are again, folks. So, bull run peak. Next halving, April 2024. Halfway, January 2023. February 2019. February 2015. Like January 2012. This is very cyclical. Okay? That doesn't tell you where it's going to stop and start. But what it does show you is that the cycle has to play out here. We're approaching this 100-day line. We're approaching it rapidly. We're a week or two or three, or at it, one way or the other. We're still under trend. We haven't broken it. We're still under 20,000. We haven't broken it. Everything still points down to me. In fact, it points toward another capitulation. How big? Well, one more would get us to those levels I talked about just a couple moments ago. Remember that? That level of around 11,000-ish. From there, I'm looking to buy and unload. I will ride this up to the post-midway peak, right? After midway, before the next halving, we have that little peak that runs up and happens. And I'm going to show you where I think that'll go on the Bitcoin futures chart. All right, so the Bitcoin futures chart shows us gaps. It shows us places in the chart where price action happened too rapidly, and gaps we know close about 80+% of the time. So I have an indicator here for gaps. Thank you, China Matt. This shows you where the gaps are on the chart. As you see, we have a gap at roughly 35,000-ish, somewhere around in there. We have a gap, and it's 82% to fill it from where we're at now. As you know, we may go down more. So this may even increase even more. I believe that's where we're going to come back up to. And let me show you some predictive TA here. If I use this peak for our fibs, and I say we're going back to 11,000, 10,000. Let's call it 10,000 just to be square. Golden pocket lines up just right with this final gap up here. This gap runs up and closes, hits it. When it closes it, we get our pullback, our big ugly fall that happens every even year right before the halvenings. This happened in 2020, it happened in 2016, it happened in 2012. We can call it a COVID drop, but that's not what happened. It happened every single time before halvenings. So blame it on what you want to blame it on. Point is, the chart always does it. That's how I kind of see Bitcoin playing out here. Now, that may not come to fruition. And I don't like predictive TA. I like to play the cards as it lies. You guys all know that. However, when I see the data, I have to report the data. I see short-term daily may go up a little more, and it may get you that feeling of euphoria of, oh boy, here we go. We're finally going to do it. Only to dash your hose because the high time frame runs the show. I know that's a lot of information to take in, and that was only just about Bitcoin. But these are the things we talk about over in the Discord. Why aren't you in there? Everyone should be. Here it is. Here's our Discord. Link will be posted right here in the YouTube chat. Copy. And paste. Bam, right there. Also, in the description of the video is our Discord here with our launch pass. In case you don't want to just be on our Discord, but you want to fully unlock it, so you can get in there and see all the talk. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have subscriber-only chats or Zooms just for the subscribers to come in and talk and ask questions. We do a Monday roundup at the beginning of the week every week just for subscribers. There's tons and tons and tons of info and data. Why are you waiting? You shouldn't be missing out. General admission is free. It's free for general admission. Come on in and hang out. What's the wait? Let's go say hey and see the rest of these comments over here because someone donated. And that means I got a drink. Now, let's be honest, y'all. I don't really drink that much anymore. Been trying not to. Been doing other stuff instead, which kind of takes the alcohol, the alcohol confusion away from me. Jalapeno. Big Tex brought me here. Nice to listen to a fair Carolina boy. Where you from, bro? Let's go. Cheers. I hit the camera. Let's go. Whiskey. Whew. It's already kind of hot in here, too. Goodness gracious. All right, so last comment, Tony STRNGR. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining. The Southern man just got fiber internet. My life's changed. Every forward's great. Shorty Guzman says, what's up, peeps? Good to see you, brother. Mike Stevens, what's up? Hey, can we look at ENS? Yeah, let me pull up ENS in a moment. All right. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you, brother. Crypto Trauma. You've been quiet lately, and I haven't kind of bothered you. I kind of figured you had some stuff going on. Peter Navarro. Bro. Peter Navarro's in the house. What's up, brother? Hadn't seen you. Good to see you, brother. Nothing goes here. What's up, Corey? Jay Gross. Ethan, brother. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for all you do. We disagree on news stuff, and that's okay. I don't mind disagreeing with people. I don't trade the news, and I never will. I only ever lost money trying to do that. For me, it's too time consuming, and I'd rather just trade the chart. That's how I look at it. Chasing every bit of news is so time consuming and so frustrating that it makes you not want to do it, if that makes sense. And I've realized that if you take those distractions out and don't use them, you can focus on things better and make better decisions. China Matt says CME October pivot looks like 20,095. Whoo. Right at 20,000. I bet you we bounce the bottom of that 2 or 3 times and it gets ugly. I'm willing to stay in my shorts. I wear my shorts until it doesn't happen anymore, right? Was looking at the NASDAQ today, sitting right on the weekly 200. Yeah, let's look at that. Luna Classic has a head and shoulders on the daily, retested neckline trying to fall. Yeah, I don't trade Luna or Luna Classic. I just left them alone ever since all the trash happened. Some of our admins have talked about Luna and Luna Classic, about how it's, that's the people doing it and it actually works because they've taken the developers' hands away, right? That's cool. I still don't want to be involved in it, but that's cool. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, brother. I'll say it 10K BTC, Nick says. All right. 8.5, Terry says. Ooh. Bro, we need prop bets in the Discord. So I want you two guys, after this, we get on the Zoom, because we do a Zoom directly after this live stream. I want those two guys to come on and make some prop bets with me. Cash. Right? I want cash prop bets. And then we're going to see what comes happen. Because I already made a bet with Terry that the Titans would do in 10 games. Boy, I'm going to lose that one. And he's a Titans fan. And then I made a bet with Nick that Gabe Davis was ass. And he is. So I'm going to win that one. But it is what it is. Does the XRP cycle look different from BTC? Slightly. Let's look at that in a moment. How about that? Born and raised in Tar Heel country, left for the mountains 2 decades ago. Hey, bro, I'm right here at the foothills. I'm right here at the edge of the mountains. I'm 30 minutes from Hendersonville, right? So you know where that's at. I'm 30 minutes from that. I'm right at the base of I-26, right here at the edge of the mountains. Agree. I'm glad we have a civil discussion. That's a very good point. Real quick, far too often in this space, you're going to read the immaturity of people by the fact that they can't carry a conversation, right? They can't have a civil conversation or a civil discussion without getting super emotional and throwing a fit and getting pissed off and quitting, right? That shows the immaturity of the investors. All right. One thing I noticed when I was in the world of stocks and equities trying to trade those was those people share everything together. They talk to each other. They work together. They pair up. They decide, hey, you know what? I like this. I don't like this. Hey, have you heard about this? I got this. They're willing to share information, bounce ideas off of each other. They'll sell and buy each other's stuff because they know they've got quotas to hit and things to match, right? It's very cool to watch. They're competing, but they're all on the same team, right? So it's like watching a basketball game and everyone's shooting a three-point contest. They all want the ball, but at the same time, they want to pass to their friends, right? It's the same way in the equities world. Forex is very similar. Those markets, however, are very, very mature, right? You got more mature investors, more mature traders who understand the value of a dollar and don't want to blow it. In crypto, it's just not that way. We don't have the maturity level of investors yet to be able to stop and say, hey, man, this is a terrible idea. Or, hey, you know what? I don't like this and you do like it. So let's just agree to disagree, but I'm not going to do it and you don't have to do what I'm doing. Let's see which one plays out, right? That doesn't happen yet in crypto. Very rarely, I say it doesn't happen. Very rarely does it happen. We got to get that more. We have to have more of that. What you're going to find is our Discord is highly mature. While we say goofy stuff and goof off sometimes, sure. When it comes to the money, everyone's pretty darn mature. We're not going to throw around stupid stuff. We're not going to do dumb shit. We're not going to just throw crazy information and say ridiculous price predictions everywhere. That's not how our Discord works. It's very down to earth. Most people are of age. When I say of age, I mean over 28, right? So everyone's a little bit more careful with their money. That needs to happen more across the space. Can you repeat cake? Yep. China Matt's been sharing the cake chart over the Discord a good bit. Broken ICK is broken clock is right twice a day. Whatever you got to say to make us sleep at night, Nick. You're just lucky Gabe Davis is hurt. We knew this was going to happen, bro. We knew he was going to get hurt. We talked about it. We both agreed that he's not Cole Beasley. So quit trying to let him be Cole Beasley and just let him run deep routes. They got him running across the middle and he got hurt. Hi, Keith. How come you don't use the volume indicator again? What I've found in crypto is really for Bitcoin and Ethereum, volume has some power. But for everything else, it's just too volatile and volume indicators lag way too much. Okay. They lag way too much. And since they lag, they're way behind. Well, I can find plenty of other lagging indicators that are like better than volume. You're going to look at volume and go, oh my God, look, the volume's way up. Well, you done missed the play. It's too late. It's too late. You done missed it. And in fact, sell volume can come in just as fast in crypto as buy volume. So if therefore, I'd just rather not use it. For Forex, there's weight. It holds weight. I'll say that. There are indicators for Forex, for volume that definitely matter. And that would have helped you trade the dollar, by the way. Okay. I would agree on that point. If anyone makes if I make 160 in October, I'm in for premium Discord. Well, sweet, bro. Awesome. That's great. We may be running a promotion in December too, so keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open, right? All right. So let's get back into it. I'm going to start with XRP and kind of work my way down because Terry was asking, does the timeline kind of match up with XRP? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, we shall. All right. So back in 2018 for XRP, we had our peak. The next Bitcoin halving was when? All the way in June 2020. So that leaves us from January 2018 all the way to June 20, which is 2 years plus. Halfway in between that, summer of June 19. Right around, if you actually count this one, it's slightly different than Bitcoin, not exactly the same, but close. All right, so right about here would be about halfway-ish. Put it 100 days before that. You see a capitulation, very similar. That would put it right here in 2018 doing this exact same move you see in the green circle. Just so happens that XRP is doing the exact same friggin' thing. See that? Yeah. It looks very, very similar, doesn't it? Now, some things don't add up, right? Which I don't particularly like. I don't like that the moving averages don't look the same here. Let's put this on weekly so it's a little bit cleaner. I don't like that the moving averages don't particularly look the same. The 50 was over the candles here. The 50 is over the candles here. However, you see this was on an uprise. And I kind of feel like this maybe matches back here. I don't particularly care for fractals for this reason, right? But that would put us that we've already had that move. Tough to call here. Either way, we're still stuck on a downtrend. We're still under the 200 moving average on the week. And while we do have good price action with good push up here, it's still stuck. It's still under the trend. Even if it gets up over this trend, it's short term. It's going to run out of juice on the indicators. How much longer can this go? A few more weeks if it really wanted to. A few more weeks it could push and run up and bump this 50-week moving average, which is at 62 cents. And that will continue to creep down the longer the price is stuck down here, okay? That means that the price would continue to trickle down and move sideways as this particular moving average approaches this trend line here. It'd pretty much line up with it. A trend line touch would make sense. Tag the trend line and continue our downtrend. Because like I told you, halving is not until October of 23. The midway point hasn't even come up yet. And since the midway point hasn't come up yet, we ain't going nowhere fast, folks. I'm sorry. Or, I'm sorry, 2024 is the halving. So this midway point would be way over here. Let's actually line it up real quick, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So give me this yellow line as the peak. Red line is the next halving, and the blue line would be halfway. As you see, we're approaching halfway between the two. Haven't got there yet. So I believe that capitulation is still to come in. I believe we're going to get some good prices here at the bottom. On what? Well, that's still to be determined. XRP's chart kind of drug its feet here and pulled way down in 2020 and did a 96% drop. If XRP did the same 96% drop from the top, that would put it all the way down into single digits. How do I get that reading? Well, I'll show you real quick. Let me move all this crap. Okay. So 96% from the top is what I'm talking about here. There's the very tip top, and I pull down to the very bottom here, and you'll see that we lost 96% of our value. If I were to do the exact same thing here to this peak, and I pull down 96%, where does that put us? Single digits. 7 cents. Does that hurt your feelings? Well, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to be honest with you. I don't know that it will go down that far for sure. I do think we see a quarter again. And if that's the case, we're still in a downtrend. And that threatens teens and that threatens single digits. We didn't quite get down to single digits last time. I think we bottomed out at 10 cents. But as you see here, the last peak is lower than the first peak. That's a lower high and a lower low. So let's mark this out. Basic trend analysis, folks. That's a high That's a low. That is a lower high, and a lower low would be down here, wouldn't it? And that would be a downtrend. A downtrend. We shall see. I don't know the future, and I don't like trying to predict it. I'm just being straight with you. Okay? Cool. All right, but that's BTC. The goal is to be better than BTC. It could decouple. There's also a lawsuit involved. Again, who cares? I don't care about any of that. I'm just showing you the chart. There's 1,000 things that could happen, right? I'm not able to predict any of that stuff. I'll just buy and sell based on the chart. If this thing breaks this major trend line, I'm with it. I'll start saying good stuff. It hasn't done so yet. I think it's still a ways away, and I hope it's not. I hope it goes up for people, and I hope that helps people make money, because I want to see other people make money. I don't want to see anybody go broke at this. I want to see everybody get paid. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. It looks like a double bottom, right? I would say that until you look at the big trend and you see that this is just a big lower high and could form another lower low. All right, that sucks. All right, so let's go on to the next one. SPY, the SP 500. All right, so looking gnarly, isn't it? Now, there is some good news here. It still continues to hold on to this white line right here. What is this white line? Well, that's the base of the current floor. That's the base of the current floor. It's trying its best to hold on. It really, really is. It took another plunge and tried to kick it below it again. That's 4 or 5 days in a row where it's hung the line. That's good for it, okay? If it can continue to do that, great. If it can't, I'm sorry, but the next levels, and we spoke about this on Monday, the last 2 weeks on the S&P 500, the floor there is 346, 337, and 325. Now, does that line up with support and resistance? And the answer is yes, it does. You have support down here at roughly 350, 347, 350 area, and there's also a gap. There's also a gap right here at 338, another 6.5% down. Could it do that by the end of the year? Yes and no. I believe this thing's going to start running out of gas. It is oversold. The last couple of times it's oversold, it made a lower high and a lower low and a lower high and a lower low. So let's see if it can handle that again. The last time it went super oversold was 2020. And when it made that super oversold, it pulled out of it. Now, it hasn't quite done the super oversold yet, just regular oversold. So if it can pull out of this and go a little farther, we'll see. Maybe it needs another trend line touch, right? One more trend line touch before it falls farther. I wouldn't put that out of the question. I think it's fully possible. PLU. PLU Pluton. So what do I see here? Looks like a pretty gnarly downtrend to me. Stuck under all the moving averages. Yeah, short term, this may go up a little bit more towards $7.50 or even $8, but I believe it's going to get stuck in the wash here. And I don't believe any asset is immune to what's coming. So I'm going to say no for PLU. ENS. This one went crazy, didn't it? Oh, no, it didn't go crazy. It is sitting in a pretty spot, and it does have a nice inverse head and shoulders formed up here above the 200. This is one of the 15 that are actually over the 200 moving average and moving well. Now, what we saw with others like QNT is that it's actually tested that neckline and trying its best to push over it. And I'll show you what I mean here with QNT. There you go. Still stuck under it, though. Okay. The last couple of days, the market's been up, and it's having a hard time getting through. Now, it kind of shows me that it's a little hesitant to break through this line. And if that's the case, I'm not sold yet. I'm just not sold. In fact, I think everything's going to pull back when this nastiness starts. So even though ENS looks good short term, I'm going to tell you to be very careful and set a very tight stop loss if you're going to trade that. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor yet. NAS. I think you're talking about Norwegian Air Shuttle. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the NASDAQ 100? I think you're talking about the NASDAQ 100, which is there. Yeah. All right. Been watching this one pretty closely as well. Similar situation to the S&P 500 where it's holding this line right here at the floor. All the moving averages have rolled over and started to quit. best to be careful here because I don't want to see the epic blistering failure that could come. It blew through the golden pocket, which I thought it may catch short term before it did the rest of this down. But either way, I had it coming down more. So if it can hold this, another trend line touch may be in order. If not, I got 10,035, 10,000 flat. 10,000 flat. Those would be the next two levels I would expect out of that. Luna C. All right. Surely we can find a better chart than that. Yeah, there we go. All right. How about a 4 hour? Because we don't have a ton of data here. Let's turn off this gap indicator. Luna never stops. There's no gaps. Yeah, inverse head and shoulders here on Luna C. It's having a hard time breaking through this barrier here after that big run up. Let's see if it can break 0003. If it can break 0032, we have a chance to run up here more toward 0004.5. But I need to see it break that first. And as I've said, I don't think anything is bear market immune. Cake. China Matt's been posting this one a lot. Yeah, see, this is another one that's done things that other ones haven't done. It's held up really, really well. While everything was failing, it went ahead and sprinted to the 200 moving average. How the other indicators look, we're heading toward overbought. This will be the second time on this particular bear flag that we've run up to overbought. How many times can that happen? 3? Yes, it's fully possible. It's not under the 821 yet. It's under the 200, which is usually a stopping point for me. An atom would be a good example of what I mean. Let's show you atom here. This is what happens when things hit the 200 moving average sometimes, okay? It gets pinned. And when it gets pinned, it pinches. And when it pinches, it fails. And I've got atom coming on down more. And if that's the case, then everything's going to come down because nothing is immune to this market. Gala, IOTX. Yeah, Ashley asked about atom. Right there you go. Yeah, I've got this coming down to 11, or at least to this 100 moving average at 11.2, but that's going to creep up slowly. So it might be 11.5 by the time it gets there. I may close my short there, all right, because it's already been open for quite a while. Could this go way down? Yes, it could. If that's the case, I've got some margin tokens. I'll leave them running. SQQQ. MNW. I don't remember what that one is. That's an interesting chart to look for. Oh, Mr. Fibonacci. One more time. Long time no see for one of the OGs, Mr. Fib. Been around since 2019 when we first formed this group. Glad to see you back, brother. Glad to see you back. A lot of good memories we had, and I look forward to making more. All right. Solana. There's a good one. WTC Walton Chain. I forgot about Walton Chain, Matt. WTC. Oh, no, you sorry, Pen. Don't you fail me now. You're supposed to be good. These Sharpie S shells have been good to me, but it better not quit. It'll let me down. Yeah, I still got my AVAX short open big tech, sure enough. I was just about to request AVAX. Thanks. Yep. Let's see. All right, let's go through some of these real quick. Gala first. This is going to be a heartbreaker. Look at this thing. Goodness gracious. This sucks because I still got my Gala node running, and it makes a little bit of Gala every day, so I'm just accumulating and waiting it out to the next bull run. You know what I mean? I can't do anything until it. I mean, I could claim it and sell it, but I don't think it's worth the capital gain. I'll just leave it be and let it continue to accrue. I made the mistake of selling my Gala too early last time, so I'll leave it be. Whatever I make, I make. I've already weighed in profits on it, but no, nothing here looks good for me at the moment. Under support, no thanks. No thanks. IOTX. All right. Under everything, moving average is pinching. It could break and run to the 200, but that gives you a ceiling of 4 cents. We've seen other ones run up and hit the 200, so I'm not leaving any of those out to the pasture to do that. But the problem is it's stuck right now. It's got to get through a lot of trash. We've seen other ones just blow right through it. Not saying it can't happen, but I'm leaning more toward down than up. SQQQ. This is shorts, isn't it? Isn't that a short index? Yeah, short index. Look at these shorts going up. Goodness gracious. You're about to get a golden cross, which is the 50 crossing through the 200 moving average. Let me zoom in on that so you can see it better. See that right there? Goodness. You got the 21 blown through the 100. If that happens, you get this cross. That shows me that this thing could run up and make a new high here, a new local high above this. Current peak at 69, it looks like. No, 67. So it could run up above this. These shorts are hitting Sniper's Alley now. We're running up on Friday and the end of the month. So we may see a pullback. And that pullback could drive us back toward $50 flat even. But if it can hang up there and hold those moving averages, you're looking at running back up toward 81.90 and 104. And that would coincide with a trend line touch on the S&P 500. That makes sense. That mathematics adds up, if you see what I'm saying. A lot of shorts coming in, huh? A lot of shorts. What does that tell you guys? That tells me that a lot of people are not liking what they're seeing. All right, Morpheus Network. I haven't done this one in a while. That's why I remembered it. Yeah, here you go. This is what I was talking about on IOTX, where you had trash in the way. But look at it sprint towards the 200. I think the 200 moving average is going to be a close cap here at 71 cents. Same thing for IOTX. This could happen, but I don't think that puts us in a bull market. I think this is just a test of a moving average, and then we get a pullback. Little spats up like this after a humongous fall down is not bullish. Okay? Let's be very careful. It has a long way to do to recover from the gnarly downtrend that this thing has formed. And timeline-wise, I just don't think we're there yet. I really don't. I feel like the cyclical nature of this is just going to drag out. Solana. Solana had a good couple days, right? Look how far down it still is. I actually pulled a short. I made a video today on how to short for KuCoin. And you even see me on the video take a short on KuCoin and make profits on it. After I made that video, literally I hit stop record. And like 10 seconds later, it ran up and hit my take profits. I was like, sweet. And I made a couple % on it. I forget what it was. But whatever you see me do in the video really happened. I really shorted that. Solana's had a good couple days, and it's got a local bottom formed. However, it's right up against the trend line. With that 50-day moving average pressing down, I don't have a whole lot of faith in this stuff to continue going up like this. All right? It's just, man, everything's so bearish that one little candle up gets everybody all happy. And all I see is this big, massive head and shoulders. If that's the case, that don't look so good. And all this short-term up is just a big psych out. And I don't want anyone to get faked out and think that there's some kind of manipulation or control going on. I think it's just the charts and the cycles playing out. I still like this to run down here to $24 or so, maybe more. Which sucks because I still got money stuck on Voyager. And if Voyager did get bought out by FTX, we'll see what happens with the assets on there. If I'm not mistaken, FTX was in a little bit of hot water too. So, hey, roll the dice on whether I ever get my money back. I'll bank on it not happening. But if they do, hey, I got more money to spend on the next cycle. Yeah? Walton Chain. This is an old school one that we watched pre-bull run and bull run last time. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. I got a sneeze button over here now. How cool is that? All right, so Walton Chain's showing the power to get up over the 200 moving average. Look at this thing. Still under some gnarliness. And you see back here, I had some old school buys. 7,921. Look at that. Let's go back and look. 7,921. That'd be July 9th. Right here I bought. Look at that. Let's go. And it ran up there. Hey, it's almost like we knew what we were doing back then. Anyway, we've pinched. We broke the 200. I think that's why China Matt wanted us to look at this. Forming that very same inverse head and shoulders base here. The next level for this thing to hit and break is 40 cents because there's resistance there, but there's already resistance where it's hitting now. So I'm hard pressed to think this thing's just going to run up and be crazy. It did throw a really incredibly ridiculous wick here, but I'm not totally convinced. Yeah, it may be up short term. I feel like this is all a bit fool's gold. I don't want anybody to get burned by that. So please be careful. If you're going to try buying anything here, folks, please make sure you set a stop loss. Please make sure you get your profits locked in if you're in profits. Don't be silly. Don't be an ape and think you're going to make a ton of % here. Yes, some charts have moved rapidly. That does not mean every chart is going to move rapidly. Please be smart. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Did we talk about XRP? Yeah, Sean, for about 10 minutes. Quant pulling back or keep running. Honestly, man, I feel like it's going to pull back. I think everything is. Mr. Phibbs said the professor is the master. TA learned proper and life-changing wisdom. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the kind words. He's been around a long time, dude. Was always front screen as I was away from screen as I took kids to school. I get it, bro. Poor Papa Nick has had to get up every morning and take his kids to school. Can you imagine the horror? That retired life's tough, isn't it? Oh, Lord. TRB. And in case you guys are wondering how that's possible, I told you guys this was going to happen during the bull run. I said we were going to retire people from technical analysis. Doing technical analysis was going to make us enough money to retire people. And there are at least 4 or 5 of us who are able to do that. And we just do this full time now. We're crypto full time. So don't tell me what can't be done, okay? If some nobodies on the internet can do this, surely you can do it. Surely you can do it. TRB. And my pen is for sure quitting, and this is a sad day. I'm upset. I'm about to switch pens again. I just got into these SGLs. And if they start failing me, I'm going to get upset. All right. No, TRB is a definite no. All the moving averages pinching down. It already ran up and did its move. And it looks a little bit gnarly here, like it's going to continue to fail. Kind of looks like what QNT did, only QNT held up a little bit better. TRB did not. I would be a no on this one from me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I know, right, bro? Hey, listen, we got e-learning here tomorrow because the hurricane's coming this way, so they've already go ahead and close school. So the kids are going to be here all day tomorrow, and that's my work day when I'm here by myself working. So I might go get the gun headphones and put them jokers on, so I ain't got to listen to nobody. Same ones me and Nick went shooting with. I might have to put them jokers on so y'all can't hear me. They can't hear me while I'm in here working. Because I'm trying to have no kids come here bothering me and shit while I'm working. You know what I mean? It's not work, is it, Keith? You're on there on the internet talking to your friends. Yeah, something like that, also known as making money while I'm doing it. All right, so we'll see how the day goes tomorrow. I'm cautiously pessimistic. Oh, Lord. Let's look real quick. Bitcoin's floating around 1%. Let's go down on the low time frames real quick while we got some time here. Have a peek, shall we? By the way, I also reached out to some other guys whom, what's the right word? Chose not to be around me anymore. And I haven't heard anything back from them, but I'm optimistic those people come around too. We'll see. I want this crowd to be as big as possible this bull run. I really, really do. So Bitcoin's got a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders playing out here on the 1 hour. But if it drops any lower than 19.3, it's going to be trouble. I think this may actually play out and run us up to 20,000, but I don't think it's going to go any farther than that. Fair value gaps for you guys out there who like fair value gaps, that'd be around 20,000. I do think that gets tagged. I think it may not happen until next month, which will be after 8 p.m. tomorrow. But I think there's a solid possibility of that. I'm going to keep my shorts open. I'm not afraid. I've talked about my liquidation prices. They're crazy high, so I'm able to just leave it be. And I also never keep too much money in the futures wallet, so that even if I do get liquidated, it's only a couple $100. I'm not going to whine and cry about it. I've lost way more, way faster than that before. It's okay. It's okay. I don't panic and get upset about this stuff. I am trying to just grow my stack here of stable coins for when we actually do find somewhere of a bottom. I will be unloading, like I said, and then I've even come up with a secondary plan. Kind of been talking about it to some guys, and I think it's going to go well. I think it's going to go well, one thing at a time, though, right? Also, someone asked me, Keith, I think it's the RAM on your computer. Aha. So on my streaming software over here, it tells me dropped frames, 0. But YouTube over here, I've already saw it a couple times this stream, has been spinning, spinny pinwheel up here on me in the corner, lagging out. So I know it's not my software. And no, it's not the hardware either. It's the damn internet connection that I pay a lot of money for. Now that's just upsetting. It's just not nice. You pay that much money for internet, give me my damn data, right? Whatever. It's a hard world where even if you pay for data, you can't get what you pay for. Oh well, whatever. So 4 hour, similar story here, chopping back and forth. Moving averages are pinching together. I see this running up and bumping the temporary and then pulling right back down, and I still see 17,000, 16,000, 15,000 wide ass open. The longer we stay down here and do nothing, the higher the probability is that we go down more. Man, I don't want to see it, but let's be real. All right. What's up, Drizzy? Good to see you, brother. 21.6 heard. See, I don't know about 21.6, but 20,500, 20,000 flat, somewhere around in there. A wick up there is fully possible. Fully possible. I don't think it can maintain it, though. That's the thing. Maintaining something and hitting something are two different things, right? Wake me up when September ends. No shit, bro. What's up, Drizzy? Said nerds. You're damn right, bro. I'm a chart nerd to the heart. As a matter of fact, we used to be in a group called Chart Nerds. And you weren't around yet then, Drizzy. You were chasing women back then. But we were here. Does Sol look like a short term, or am I dreaming a bit? Not going to go to support besides this last one. No, I think you may have a little bit of uplift. Mr. Phibb talks about the DXY. Yeah, let's look at that real quick. So we went up and hit 114, which just so happens to be the quarterly. Let's look at the fucking quarterly chart. Boy. The quarterly chart. That's getting deep there, isn't it, folks? That 886, 786 Sniper's Alley area. We blew through 107, which was some semblance of resistance, smashed right through it. And I think if we do pull back from here, the lowest point we see is 107 to 105. From there, we run right back up to our 120 area, which is our zero line for the quarter. And that would be literally the second most expensive dollar of all time, behind only 2001. Pre 9/11, and the all-time high of 1984 before Japan started stealing market share and China started stealing market share. Okay, that's wild. As long as they continue quantitative tightening, which they say they're going to do into Q4, I don't expect them to stop that once they start it, because changing course like that really pisses politicians off. So you can't be doing that too much. That's what gets you kicked out of office. So I kind of expect the dollar to keep going, even though it's crazy high right now. Maybe some pullbacks here and there, maybe some idling. But 120 now becomes a realistic target, which is insane to talk about. BAT. Ooh, Jeremy Monroe is not even drunk yet, and he started talking about BAT. We forget about BAT all the time, dude. Still stuck in this wedge. Still stuck under the trend. Bit of a double bottom, but again, don't let it fool you. Oh, you know what? What's the Nadaraya look like? Nadaraya is red on that. Nadaraya is red on Bitcoin. Nadaraya is red on Ethereum. Nadaraya is red on, it's green on the dollar. Green on XRP. How about that? Ooh. Atom, she's turned red. KNC, red. CRV, red. TRX, red. Cocos, red. Algo, red. Oh, it's green on Algo. Ooh, how about that? H-bar, red. Nadaraya Watson estimator is just a smooth moving average with some of the math into it. It does reprint, but the idea is you trade it green, you trade it red. And the arrows are kind of the determining points where you should be looking for those confluence areas. And you can use fibs and other stuff to kind of help you out with that. So great analysis, because since yesterday I've just been bullish news all over the crypto channels because it's been holding, etc. The charts done pop that. Exactly right. If DX buys a pull back to 100 would be my target. Okay, so 105 to 100, all the way is still over $1 solid, which is awesome. All the simps are here tonight. Lit. I know, bro, it's old school stuff. So on that note, thank you all for coming, dude. I love seeing the old people in here. We got some other ones that have come in the last couple of weeks, and they've kind of come and gone because you can see their interest building, right? You can see that they're getting a little bit more interested in what's going on. The markets are kind of moving and people come in and start watching, right? So I'll be back Tuesday again, Crypto After Dark, 11 p.m. Only 30 minutes on Tuesdays. And then we'll have Our Wednesday at 2 p.m., just like we always do, voice chat after. Don't forget on Monday morning for subscribers, the weekly roundup at 8:30 a.m. That's when I'll see all the people back again. Thank you all for coming. You could have been anywhere in the world. In the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., you chose to be here with me. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that shit. It's madness to me. Thank you all. See y'all on the next live stream. Be good. Peace.